Let me tell you something that a lot of men eventually discover after they've been dating for a while. Dating can be a lot less rewarding than you imagine it would be. And believe me, I'm not talking about getting rejected. Rejection is easy to understand. I'm talking about when you actually get the date, you get the number, you get the attention, you finally meet someone you like. And that's when you come to the realization and you tell yourself, like, wait, is this really what I signed up for? Because believe me, some of the hardest lessons about dating don't come when you cannot get a woman. They come after you finally do get a woman. And that's where things get interesting. Before we get into the serious matters, if you've ever been on a date or you've ever met someone and then all of a sudden you started asking yourself, but what did I really get myself into? You're in the right place because we break down all those double standards, all those crazy attitudes. We expose all those people who think men are the worst thing that ever happened to humanity. This channel, we defend and we protect men. So, welcome to the tribe, bro. Smash that subscribe button, share, comment, invite your friends to the community. Now, let's get into the serious part. This is something you need to understand, and I hope my bro Lance Wolf will drop something in the comments and maybe give his own opinion because he's a man full of wisdom. When you're younger, dating can look almost like a reward. In your mind, you're always thinking like, once as I meet the right woman, everything else will fall in place. You imagine the conversations, you imagine the dates, you imagine the chemistry, you imagine the relationship, the companionship. You visualize this fairy tale in your mind. You see other couples on social media and you say, wow, that's what I'm looking for. And then you actually start dating. And that's when reality starts teaching you. Because the first surprise you learn immediately is that being attractive or being attracted to someone is different from being compatible with to someone. You can meet a woman who is beautiful, who is intelligent, who is interesting, who is exactly your type physically. And then 3 weeks later, you discover that you are completely different. You have complete different values. You have different lifestyles. You have different expectations. You have different ideas about marriage. You have different views about what commitment actually look like. And that's very painful because attractiveness can make you overlook certain informations that are the core value of who you are. It can make you get attached to someone and then later on you realize like we are completely different. While it might already be too late because you're already emotionally attached. And then you feel like, no, I cannot separate from this person. And then you stay in a situation where you're just performing, where you're not happy. And at that moment, instead of falling for the person, instead of looking at their values, their character, and saying, no, it's not what I want, you convince yourself to fall for their potential, to start thinking in the future, they are going to be like this. In the near future, they are going to change. They are going to be different. You convince yourself to walk into that trap that you're not going to get out of it unhurt. Another uncomfortable lesson you learn is that attention is not the same thing as interest. A woman can text you all day, laugh at your jokes. She can flirt with you. She can watch every single thing you post. She can tell you how handsome you are. And you still end up nowhere. And that's one of the reasons modern dating can mess up a man's head. Because attention feels like progress. But it's not progress. Because the truth of the matter is that you can spend weeks talking to someone and still not get a relationship from it. And that's why you realize that you don't measure someone's interest towards you by how much attention they give you. You measure it by how much or how many things or whatever they are ready to build with you. And honestly, learning that one early on can save a man tons of wasted months and tons of wasted energy and money. Now, another thing a man learns the hard way is that effort does not guarantee anything. And this one hurts because a lot of men were raised to believe that you work hard, you take care of someone, you treat them right, you stay loyal, you communicate very well, you provide, you show consistency. And when you do all of that, things will work out. But unfortunately, dating is not a job interview where everything works out when you get a position when you show effort. You can do everything right and still be wrong to someone. You can take her to nice restaurants. You can remember her birthday. You can drive across town. You can listen to her problems. You can make her laugh. You can be patient. And she will still decide she does not want you. And that's painful. But it's also important because once a man understands this, he stops treating dating like a transaction. I did all of this. Therefore, she owes me this. No, bro. Nobody owes you attraction. But here's the other side of that. You don't owe endless effort either. And that's where you need boundaries. That's where men need to set boundaries. If you're constantly proving your value to someone who is not reciprocating, you're not building a relationship anymore. You're auditioning. You're auditioning for something you will not get. And as someone with self respect, you don't do that. Another thing you learn as a man is that dating can reveal how much loneliness can influence your judgment. And I know this one men don't like admitting, but believe me, sometimes you're not choosing the woman because she's actually right for you. You're choosing her because you are tired of being alone. You're choosing her because she's the only one available and you need companionship. And that's dangerous because when you are lonely, someone who does not deserve you, someone who is not compatible with you, they start looking like your destiny. They start looking like you guys were meant for each other simply because you are lonely and then she's the only one available. So a little attention from her start to feel like love. A few good dates here and there start to feel like a future. And then you get with a woman who's just showing you basic interest. That basic interest start to feel like wow. It start to feel like something made in heaven because you're just used to being alone and no one has been showing you that kind of attention. Even though it's the bare minimum. That's why a man has to learn asking himself this question. Do I actually like this woman? Or do I just want to avoid being alone? Because when you are able to make that distinction, it can save you from a lot of terrible relationships. Then there is another lesson that hurts, and at the same time, men learn the hard way. Simply that the relationship does not fail because someone did something wrong. No, it did not fail because you were a bad person or she was a bad woman. It failed because you guys were not just good together. And it's okay. Even though for us guys it's not okay because naturally we always want an explanation. We always want to know what was wrong, who messed it up, what could I have done different, what did I do wrong. And sometimes the answer is just very simple. You were not compatible. Easy. No villain, no conspiracy, no dramatic ending. Just two people who wanted two different things. And accepting that is part of being emotionally matured. Because if every failed relationship has to be someone's fault, you're going to spend the rest of your life angry at people instead of learning. You're going to spend the rest of your life being bitter. So, yeah, sometimes it's not that they were bad or that you were bad. Sometimes it's just that you guys were looking for different things. Yeah, this one is for guys who have dated for a long time, who have experience in dating. Dating can become very exhausting when you start treating every interaction as if it was a relationship. Every date or every person you are dating does not have to be your future wife. Every woman you meet doesn't have to be the one. Every rejection doesn't mean you are undesirable. Sometimes a date is simply a date. You met someone, you learned something, you realize you're not compatible, you shake hands, you go home, and life continues. Easy. And that mindset protects your peace. Because when you stop treating every woman as your potential future, it gives you enough time to sit back and see her for who she is. And that's not magic. Now, bro, if this conversation is sounding interesting to you and you actually like what we are doing, consider supporting the channel. Join the membership here. Buy our merch. We have nice hoodies, t-shirts, caps, and mugs. Just so many nice things. And thanks to my man Wolf. Really appreciate you, bro. Thanks for your support. Now let's continue. The biggest lesson dating teaches a man is that dating does not fix your life. A relationship can add to your life. It can bring companionship. It can bring affection. It can bring laughter. It can bring intimacy. It can bring memories. But if your entire life feels empty before the relationship, you can become dangerously dependent on that relationship to make you feel valuable. And that's when dating stops being something you participate in. It starts to be something you desperately need. A man needs to be able to walk away from something that doesn't work for him or that doesn't suit his lifestyle, that doesn't make him comfortable. Not because he's bitter, and not because he hates women, and not because he wants to prove something, but simply because he understands that his peace has value as well. And that's the lesson. You don't have to hate dating, and you don't have to worship dating, and you don't have to definitely chase every opportunity just because it's available. You can date with your eyes open. You can enjoy somebody without immediately building a fantasy around them. You can be interested without becoming desperate. You can give effort without overinvesting. You can get rejected without questioning your entire identity. And most importantly, you can walk away when something clearly doesn't fit right with you. And that's what experience is supposed to teach a man. Not bitterness, but discernment. Because the goal is not to become a man who never gets hurt. That's impossible. You are going to get hurt. The goal is to become a man who learns from what hurts him. Period. So if you've been through enough dating experience and you realize that dating was not actually what you thought it would be, you're not alone, bro. You're not alone. That's just life experience. The most important thing is that you have come to that realization. But don't let that bad experience turn you into a man who stopped thinking for himself. Pay attention, set standards, protect your boundary, and most importantly, keep building your life. And if you want to make better decisions about dating or not, about the kind of people you allow into your life or not, download the free guide. It's called the Opt Out Decision Test. It's not motivation, it's a mirror that will help you decide if you still want to date or not, or if you don't want to date, or you want to date. Are you doing it out of emotions or you doing it out of logic? Again, it's free. The link is on the first comment below. And if you've decided that it's time to prioritize yourself, to build your body, to get fit, to lose weight and get in shape, check out my fitness channel. There, it's all about men's weight loss and men getting fit, testosterone, and all that. Go subscribe, show some love, and then tell me in the comment section below, what's the biggest lesson dating taught you that you wish someone had even told you before you got into the dating market? Share your experience, and don't forget to click on this video before you leave, because we're just starting with these lessons. Thank you for being here. Smash that subscribe button, like, comment, share. Just push the mission. See you in the next one. Copy that.